Hi, everyone. Today I'm going to read you this story called Butterflies on the First Day of School. I'm reading this story today, especially for my granddaughter, Emily. Even though the little girl in this story looks like maybe she's going to her first day of kindergarten, you can get butterflies on the first day of any new experience. Emily's on her way to college today. I'm not sure that she has butterflies, but I thought I'd read this story specially for her just in case. Because kids and grown-ups all get butterflies from time to time. Let's hear about Rosie's experience with butterflies. Butterflies on the First Day of School by Annie Silvestro, illustrated by Chen. What a beautiful name. A month before school, Rosie picked out her very first backpack. It was covered with flowers and she loved it with all her heart. That's one of the fun things about the first day of school, isn't it? If you're able to get a new backpack. She paraded around proudly. Don't worry, she told her sister Emily. Someday you'll be big enough to go to school like me. I just had a memory of buying Emily and her twin sister Katie backpacks for school when they were little. It's hard to believe they're going to college now. Rosie practiced raising her hand, writing her letters, and saying her teacher's name. She couldn't wait to start school. But the night before the first day, Rosie couldn't sleep. Has that ever happened to you guys? Happens to me once in a while. In the morning, her belly hurt. She didn't touch her chocolate chip pancakes. Maybe I'd better stay home, said Rosie. I don't want Emily to be lonely. She'll be fine, said her mother, and so will you. I think Rosie was trying to figure out a reason not to go because she's a little nervous. Rosie shuffled the pancakes around on her plate. Come on, sweetie, said her dad. It's time to go. Rosie slowly pulled on her backpack. Oh, I don't feel well, she said. You just have butterflies in your belly, said her mother, hugging her tight. Butterflies? Asked Rosie. That's when the bus pulled up. Have you guys ever heard anybody describe that little funny feeling you get in your tummy sometimes as butterflies? I love you, said her mom. Have fun, called her dad. Rosie stared nervously out the window. Soon, a girl sat down next to her. I'm Violet, she said. What's your name? Rosie. As she spoke, a butterfly flew from her mouth. Rosie clapped both hands over her face. Are you okay? Rosie nodded. I have Mrs. Mancini, said Violet. Me too, said Rosie. The words tumbled out on two silver butterflies. Rosie watched them flutter down the aisle, but Violet didn't seem to notice. I have a feeling every time a butterfly flies out of Rosie's tummy, she's feeling a little bit better and less nervous. Welcome, said Mrs. Mancini as the girls entered the classroom. Hang up your backpacks, then meet me on the rainbow rug. Everyone fidgeted in a circle. Let's get to know each other, said Mrs. Mancini. I'll go first. I have a golden retriever named Barney. I love chocolate cake and I'm terrified of spiders. I can relate to all of those things, although I don't have a golden retriever. I wish I did. Mrs. Mancini seems like a very nice teacher. Violet went next. I'm allergic to dogs and sometimes to my brother Alex. Violet's funny, isn't she? This summer, I rode a train for the first time, said Jay. And I want to be an astronaut when I grow up, said Allison. The butterflies built up as Rosie waited for her turn. Suddenly, all eyes were on her. Rosie took a deep breath. I have a baby sister named Emily, she said. 3 butterflies flitted into the air. I love to sing and play soccer, and I wish I had a freezer in my room so I could eat ice cream whenever I want. The class laughed. Rosie's belly felt a little bit better. After that, Rosie sat at the art table. She painted a flower on a giant easel. She made one for Violet, too. Then they helped Jay build a train out of blocks. From time to time, butterflies rumbled in Rosie's belly, and occasionally 1 or 2 slipped out. But by recess, she could barely feel them anymore. Rosie dashed onto the playground. You're it, she called. Everybody raced around playing tag. But one girl stood alone under the oak tree. She held her hands on her belly, so Rosie walked over to her. That was very kind of Rosie, isn't it, to check on the little girl who looks like she might be experiencing a little nervousness. Want to play? She asked. The girl nodded. I'm Rosie. What's your name? Isabella. And as she answered, butterfly after butterfly soared into the sky. Isabella looked up amazed. Feel better? Asked Rosie. Much, said Isabella. Maybe only Rosie and Isabella can see the butterflies. I'm not sure. At the end of the day, Rosie waved goodbye to her friends. She ran off the bus and leapt into her mother's arms. School is so much fun, she said. Violet has a flower name like me, and Jay built a train out of blocks, and Isabella had butterflies too. Her mother smiled. I can't wait to hear all about it, she said. The words floated out on a shimmering butterfly's wings. The end. So the thing I realized at the end of that story is the mom had butterflies too. See, as I said, it's not just kids that get a nervous belly. We all do sometimes. But the beautiful thing about this story was Rosie was a little nervous about the first day of school, but she had grown-ups around her who encouraged her to just go ahead and told her that everything was going to be okay, and it was. So if you have butterflies in your stomach, take a deep breath, carry on, and you're going to be fine. If today is your first day of school or some new adventure, I hope it's wonderful. And as I said, I'm particularly hopeful that my granddaughter Emily has a wonderful first day at college. I hope you all have a great day. Come back so I can read to you again soon. Oh, P.S. Emily has a twin sister named Katie who's going to be leaving for college next week. So I'll read a special story for her. And then I have lots of other grandkids, so I'll read a story for each of them, maybe about first days of school. Come back soon so I can read to you again. And have a great day.